Sidney Poitier. Oh my gosh, Space Cadets! One of my favorite YouTubers is on, the Bloodthirsty Cannibal Gamer. Now he primarily makes review compilations of old retro video games. Let's watch! Hello, I'm the Bloodthirsty Cannibal Gamer, and this is Super Nintendo Fighting Games Volume 4. I hope you enjoy. 3D balls for the Snes, to put it simply, is no good. This game consists of 2D sprites made of 2D balls to give them the appearance of 3D, and these characters fight in a Mode 7 world. Some of the characters look cool for what they are, like the ostrich character and the kangaroo character, but most of the time, they look like crap. I also can't believe that they gave some characters boobs. Gameplay makes me hurt. Gameplay bad. Most of the time, I'm not sure what I'm doing, and jumping around in 3D space means hoping to land where you want. The backgrounds in this game baffle me. Most of the time, there's a big screen in the background that either states something random or gives you a hint on how to defeat your opponent. But when it's random, it's really random. Have a face full of head? What the fuck does that mean? Needless to say, I don't like playing with balls. When you get your balls beaten enough, your balls explode. And then your balls go all over the place. And that's no way to treat your balls. Okay, that's enough ball jokes. Next up is Ultraman Towards the Future, and much like 3D balls, it is also crap. You push start, and right from the get-go, you just fall right into the fight. Ultraman is also born from explosions, just like me. He grows big, and the fighting begins. And boy does it suck. I have no idea what I am doing or how to defeat this guy. I'll beat him up, and his life bar will go all the way to 0, but he doesn't die. The controls are horribly, horribly stiff. The animation is horribly stiff, like these guys have rigor mortis. When I beat the enemy down to where his life bar says finish him, I have no idea what to do. Seriously, this game is just a joke. I'm stuck at the first fight. It's crap. The next game coming up is Pit Fighter. More like Shit Fighter. I'm sure somebody else has probably used that joke before, so I'm not really stealing anybody's joke, it's just obvious. But it stands just the same. I mean, you just have to look at this game. I've never seen a more perfect example of shit in my life. Your health doesn't recharge between fights. The controls suck. I have no idea what's going on. Just look at it. Just look at this garbage. Power moves is a weird one. A is jump, B is kick, Y is punch. There is no duck because moving up and down moves you on the Z-axis. Or is it the Y-axis? Maybe it's the X-axis. I don't know. I was never good at geography. This game falls into the category with Battle Blaze and Dragon Warrior. It's kind of cheap. It plays fine, but I didn't find it fun. It just sort of was. After each battle, you get a bunch of stats that I don't care about leveled up. And instead of being able to choose the character you play, you actually choose the character you fight in single player mode. In single player mode, you can only play as Joe. Good old heroic Joe. Alright, so the game Power Instinct is actually a superior sequel to the game Power Moves. I'm running out of things to say here. So many fighters, so many similarities. Power Instincts is one of the more competent Street Fighter 2 clones. It looks good, controls alright, you get to beat up an old lady in it. One of the old lady's attacks is her teeth pop out and fly at you. And when you get a game over, the old lady's face makes up the countdown numbers. It's exciting. Power Instincts is okay, Power Moves kinda sucks. That's my summation of those two games. Hashtag old lady face. Okay, so Clay Fighter is one of those special games that come along and make you wonder what the fuck am I doing with my life. It's like Mortal Kombat in that all the characters are just scans and plopped into the game. In this case, all the characters are actually clay figures they animated and scanned. The fighters sort of look like clay, but not really. That's this game's claim to fame. All the characters are clay. You get a variety of strange characters. Bad Mr. Frosty, Blue Suede Goo, Icky Bod Clay, to name a few. The combat is functional. Special moves are performed just like in Street Fighter. I will say this game has some stellar voice work. It's clear and understandable. The main theme sounds great. I was really surprised at the quality of the music and the voices. But the game plays like, well, It plays like a bunch of clay characters fighting. It's just not very fun and it's not very good. I mean, the backgrounds are kind of cool. It's Clay Fighter. What can I say? It exists. Surprisingly enough, Clay Fighter did well enough to get a tournament edition. Is there just no God? I mean, really. The game cleans some things up. First of all, there's now a story told through an opening cutscene. As it turns out, a comet flies down to Earth and crash lands at the center of a circus. The clay creatures are made, and they all fight to be the king of the circus. The game is tightened up combat and control-wise, and the backgrounds have been changed. All the backgrounds now more resemble clay in certain ways. The game is still very middle of the road, though. I mean, you do get this new opening cutscene that explains everything, but it's just not great. Like, it's average. Like, it is very exciting and interesting to fight as clay characters, but it's just a gimmick, and the gimmick doesn't hold the game together very well. But wait, you thought that was it for Clay Fighter? Nope, there was a sequel. C2 Judgment Clay. And you know what? It's a game. It's faster, the characters are smaller, and hop around more. Everything in this game looks way more like Clay, from the backgrounds to the characters. My favorite background is the crib. You fight the new character Goo there. The stage has all these babies outside this toy store, and they're all thugs. It's ridiculous. I also enjoy Frosty's workshop. You get there and find Santa knocked out on his front stoop. Elves have been thrown in the snow. The place is a wreck. Turns out it was Santa's workshop and Frosty just made it his own. Only 3 characters from the last game return: Tiny the Wrestler, Bad Mr. Frosty, and the Blob. New characters include the baby Goo Goo, Octo, Nanaman, who has a Jamaican accent, and Happy, who has an Arnold Schwarzenegger type accent. This game isn't the greatest thing in the world, but for the novelty of playing as clay that actually looks like clay, it isn't bad. I mean, it's a game that you would break out just to have a good fun with for like 30 minutes. C2 Judgment Clay was made by people who were having fun. You can kind of tell from the bunny character Hoppy, who's made to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you can tell that they were fans of Terminator because the game is called C2 Judgment Clay and Hoppy is obviously Arnold. Thanks for watching this video. It took a lot of work. If you want to support this channel, become a patron on my Patreon. Link in the description. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go sit on the toilet for a while. I ate a New Yorker earlier, and I'm just a little constipated, to say the least.